Okay. Hello, my lovelies. I'm hoping we are coming through all okay into the Yoga Teacher Collaborative. Let me just have a sneaky look, see if it's all going okay. Tech was being a little bit spicy this morning. Yep, that all looks good to me. All right. Welcome back, my lovelies. We have had a short little break over the Christmas from the podcast, but we are back today. So, welcome to the Yoga Teacher Collaborative podcast, which is live streamed into our Facebook community. So, if you are watching live, I am delighted you're here. And if you're listening to the podcast, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. So we are kicking this return of the podcast for 2025 by looking at the astrology. As many of you know, I am a yoga teacher, a business mentor for yoga teachers, but I'm also a qualified astrologer. And what I love about astrology, having first come to astrology as a skeptic and then moved into being a curious skeptic and then training as an astrologer, is I love how it is a lens through which we can consider the human experience. And the astrology of the moment shines a light on different ways of behaving, on different archetypes, on different aspects of what it is to be a human doing our best in this world. So whether you believe the astrology or whether you just take it as themes and inspiration to explore, I think it has so much merit and so much depth. So today, as we explore the astrological themes for 2025, these are themes that can shine a light on yourself, your relationship with yourself, your relationship with others, how you are flowing through your everyday. It can shine a light on how you are showing up in your business, especially as yoga teachers. Our business can really be an extension of our spiritual practice. And taking the universal assignments as via the astrology helps us weave those spiritual assignments into how we are showing up in our business. And then also as a teacher or practitioner of yoga, the astrology gives you themes that can inspire your teaching, and it's really nice to have those external inputs to inspire the themes of our class. And there's something about being inspired by the astrological themes because all of your students are going through the same astrological themes for the year. So it really helps us to be able to create yoga classes that are meeting our students in the emotional bandwidth they're showing up in that day and with the different struggles or thought patterns that they might be navigating. So without further ado, what is the astrological themes for 2025? So first things first, the astrology for 2025 is intense. There is more happening in the astrology than has happened in all of human history. This is one hell of a year to be alive for. Dialing back, the theme of 2024 really was one of challenge. For many of us, 2024 did have unexpected challenges. Yes, we kept on rolling through them, but it was a year of challenge. And everything in astrology is here to serve a purpose for our individual evolution and for our societal evolution. And what is the purpose of challenge? It is to help us see what needs to be changed. It is help us to develop resilience. So as we come into 2025, we're getting to leave the theme of challenge behind. The challenge was particularly due to Pluto being in the 29th degree of Capricorn. Whereas now it's fully into Aquarius. So the theme of 2025 is that of change. And change often follows challenge because challenge shows us where things aren't quite in alignment, where we need to grow, evolve, what we need to navigate, and that leads to change. So if there is one word to really work with for 2025, it is change. This is personal change, but also massive societal change revolution. This time next year, when we look at the astrology for 2026, we will have navigated so much change, we'll barely be able to recognize the person that we are today. So let's break this down kind of into the why. So why is 2025 so pivotal in the astrology? When we look at astrology, we have outer planets and personal planets. The personal planets are the planets that are closest to the Earth and closest to the Sun, therefore, in their orbit. So they are the planets that orbit around the Sun quite quickly. Things like the moon, obviously not a planet, but a luminary, that changes zodiac signs every 2.5 days. Mars, depending on its retrograde, can be in a sign for like 4 to 6 weeks on average. So they change quite quickly, and they are personal planets. But 2025 is about the outer planets. So these are the planets that are further from the Sun, further from the Earth in their orbit, and they spend longer in the zodiac signs. When they spend longer in a sign, the theme is more developed and it is making broader societal change. All 5 outer planets are changing sign in 2025, actually in the first 7 months of 2025. And that is what has never happened in all of known human history. We've had, 3 of them move in the late 1700s. That was the time of the Great Awakening. But all 5 outer planets changing signs, this is monumental. This is why this time next year, we are barely going to recognize ourselves and the year we have been through. Saying all 5 planets are changing signs, there's a little poetic license in there because it's dealing with Pluto. So Pluto spends around 20 years in a sign, and last year, 2024, was really when it was moving signs, moving from Capricorn into Aquarius, but it kept going forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards. So it's really now only in 2025 that Pluto is properly moving into Aquarius, staying here and starting its work. Then we also have Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, and Uranus, all changing signs. For this podcast, going into each one is a little bit too much depth. I've done that in my workshops for you. But just knowing that what that brings is the theme of change. So how can you support yourself with that? How can you support your students with that? And let's break that down into some more specifics. So let's look at the very beginning of this year. Right now, as I'm recording this podcast, it is the 24th of January. So in the end of December through January and into February, the planet of Mars is retrograding. Now, lots of astrologers talk about Mars being malefic. I personally don't really think there's anything out in there in the universe that is plotting my downfall. I really like the energy of Mars, be it a theme, be it something tangible. I like it. Mars is the theme of drive, action. It is the foot on the pedal. And those of you that work with me in business mentorship and teacher training, I am a foot on the pedal kind of girl. I have drive. I like things to move forwards. But this planet of Mars is right now, and it has been since the end of December, in retrograde. So a retrograde is an optical illusion when it appears that a planet is moving backwards in its elliptical orbit in relation to where we are on Earth. So the theme that comes with that is in reverse. So our foot on the pedal is currently in reverse. And I don't know about you, but I reverse a lot slower than I do driving straight ahead. So even that planet that brings us drive is kind of taking its foot off the pedal. It's in reverse. So it is a time of reviewing, revising, reflecting, actually stepping back from your drive. So, if you have come in and your students have come into January with a little less get up and go, a little less drive, or this feeling that they're kind of in reverse, that is a really natural experience with the astrology. So don't fight against it. Don't keep trying to move into a forward gear when Mars is asking you to reverse. And what is the benefit of reversing? It is looking back, reviewing. So in your business, start to look back over old notebooks. I did this yesterday. Old ideas, see if there's anything that's wanting to come to light later in the year. Look back at how you were doing things. Maybe when you started teaching yoga, you were more driven at showing up on social media, putting your posters out. Maybe actually at the beginning, your customer service was a bit better. Maybe you were better at sending nice thank you emails to new students. But as your classes have got busier and you've got busier, maybe you have taken your foot off the pedal a little bit on some of those customer service aspects. So reviewing, revising, seeing what needs to come back into the light. Also, just resting. Don't feel you have to push against that like January energy that you must get going. That's not supported at the moment. So do rest, teach more gentle classes. People will be tired. That drive is just a little in reverse. That changes 23rd of February. That is when Mars stations direct and then starts moving forwards again. So from towards the end of February, things will start moving forwards again. And this could be things in your life. Like I did 2 one-to-one astrology mentorship sessions this week, and both the people I spoke to and myself as well, we're all trying to sell our houses at the moment, and kind of not a lot's moving. It feels like the housing market's very slow. No one's putting in offers because no one's proceedable. That is the astrology at the moment. We're going to have to hold patient until the end of February. Mars moves direct, everything starts moving forwards again. So whether that's in your teaching life, your personal life, if anything is taking longer than it feels like it should, assignment from the universe to practice patience. Okay, moving on. So what I'd like to look at with you next is the nodes. So you have the North Node and you have the South Node, and these change zodiac sign once a year. And when the North Node comes into a new sign, a new area of your life, it is like a new light turning on. It is like someone opened the window and a breath of fresh air came in. It can be a new beginning, a new opportunity. It is a revitalization, a new start, a new opportunity. And by contrast, where the South Node is, that is an ending, a letting go, a shedding. Or if you want to think of this like movies, the South Node is the ending of a movie, and you have to let that movie end before you can start watching a new movie. You don't want to watch 2 movies at the same time. So individually, these affect us, but we're wanting to look at this more globally together right now so you can weave it into your yoga classes. So the South Node, which is the endings, the shedding, the letting go, the nodes moved on the 11th of January. So they only moved like 2 weeks ago. So this has just started to happen. This theme's just coming in, and we're going to be dancing with this for a year. We have a year on this cosmic assignment. So the North Node moved into Virgo the weekend before last. So, sorry, not did I say North Node? I meant South Node. South Node moved into Virgo on about the 11th of January. So what is the cosmic assignment for you, your students, and your business as the South Node in Virgo? It is to let go of perfectionism. It is to let go of being self-critical. It is to let go of not doing stuff because you're holding yourself up in the details on things having to be perfect. Virgo is a beautiful zodiac sign. It's very, very caring to others, exceptionally detail orientated, but when turned inwards, that can become self-critical, perfectionist, a little bit judgmental, normally shown more internally. So this is a cosmic assignment for all of us in 2025. How can we let go of being self-critical? How can we let go of that inner judgment? How can we let go of perfectionist tendencies that are holding us back? So think about that in your yoga classes. I had a new student in January. Welcome to January. He's done 2 classes with me and he's doing really well. He's an older gentleman. He's got quite a few injuries and he's doing really well. And I'm really supportive of that in class. But still, he sent me an email this week saying, am I hopeless? Am I making progress? And it's that. And us as yoga teachers and our yoga classes and how we deliver them, we can help with that wound. So it's in our yoga classes thinking not about how a pose looks. That is so 20 years ago. It's not about how a pose looks. It is not about perfect alignment. It is not even about progress. It is not about perfecting something. It's about embracing the experience that your students and you are having in your body in that moment without the judgment. And in yoga philosophy, this comes into the teaching of satya, truthfulness. And especially from the tantric lens, it asks us to look at satya in 2 ways. First order truth or reality, and second order truth or reality. First order truth is the physical experience of something before you put words to it. As soon as we put words to something, even in our own mind, that experience is being shaped by our conditioning, and it's therefore no longer a pure truth. It's a second order reality. So then, for instance, in our yoga class, that looks like really trying to just notice the sensations as they arise in our body prior to putting a label to it. So, in a stretch like pigeon, can we encourage our students just to notice the sensation prior to labeling it as like tight, good, uncomfortable, in my hip, just noticing as strict bare as you can, what does it feel like to be having an experience in your body right now? And it's by teaching this that we can get people to move away from the judgment, to move away from the self-critique, and to just be there for the experience. And then in your business, I business mentor a lot of yoga teachers, and what stands in the way of many yoga teachers growing is perfectionism. Not showing up on social media because you haven't got the right lighting, you haven't got the right photos, you don't know exactly what to say, trying to record a video for your community, but filming it 10 times because you muddled your words. Not getting out there on your website, not putting up your website because you don't know exactly what you want to do in it and you don't know exactly how to integrate all of the tech. It is this idea that something has to be perfect that paralyzes you from taking action, and not taking action stops your business from growing. And I hope I model to you always just show up. Done is better than perfect. And then because we knew what we put out wasn't perfect, then we're continually evolving it, doing a little bit better next time. That's why things, for instance, like this podcast is recorded live at my desk, just as it is. Yes, I'm sure it could be done better if I recorded it not live, if I edited it, if I paid for a posh podcast editor to come in and chop it, change it, put music in, do all of that stuff. I don't do any of that because I know that the most impactful thing in my business is just getting it done. And I get stuff done by going live. And then, all of the word vomit, well, it's just part of it. If I fluff my words, it's just part of it. I'm human. I'm not creating this perfect ideal. So I urge you to bring that into your business, whether it's in your website, whether it's in your classes, whether it's in your social media. Just go and do the thing with all of your beautiful human imperfections. And loving your human imperfections, that is the cosmic assignment this year, the South Node in Virgo. Okay. So then if the South Node in Virgo is endings, the North Node represents beginnings. And this is what I'm so excited for us as yoga teachers. The North Node is in Pisces. So again, this happened just the other weekend around the 11th of January. It's going to be here for a year. North Node represents a new beginning, a new start, fresh air, new movie, opening a window. And Pisces, it is spirituality. Finally, and this has been happening, people are getting more and more spiritually curious. And when I'm talking about spirituality, I do separate spirituality for me, and this comes free of judgment, from mysticism. Things like crystals, oracle cards, smudging, that might be a part of a spiritual practice for you, but also a lot of that kind of sits in the world of mysticism to me. Spirituality from the lens of yoga is seeking to understand ourselves, understand the universe and our place in it. Spirituality is the journey to enlightenment. Enlightenment is in light. Understanding that the true nature of myself is pure light, pure love, pure energy. I am the universe, and everyone I meet on their good days, on their bad days, they too are pure light, trying to shine the best that they can. Spirituality, for me, is the journey to enlightenment. And as a teacher of yoga, spirituality is the pathway to enlightenment. So yes, tools such as oracle cards, crystals, all of that can come in, but making sure that there is much more depth to the spiritual practice, turning to philosophy, turning to a little bit more than just oracle cards. Spiritual texts like the Bhagavad Gita. I'm a Bhagavad Gita girl. But contemplating the text, contemplating the Upanishads, reading the Rig Veda for yourself rather than just taking quotes off the internet. It is really now shining the depth on. It's time to do some spiritual work, not just spiritual showmanship. It's time to actually do some work. And this really excites me. And as yoga teachers, you can be that little opening of the door for someone having a spiritual practice, because we've come from an era where, unless it was organized religion, there wasn't much space for people having a spiritual practice. But in our yoga classes, we can just open the door to the magic of connecting with yourself, connecting with your place in the universe, the quiet pauses between your breath, listening to the deeper wisdom within. We can start to open the door to spirituality. Pisces is more than just spirituality. It is empathy. It is sensitivity. It is creativity. So when you're looking for themes this year, there are so many beautiful, life-changing themes you can bring into your teaching. Empathy. Practicing the skill of empathy, that's also taking on that universal assignment of letting go of the judgment, the critique, the South Node and Virgo stuff. So what would a yoga class themed around empathy be like? Sensitivity is a theme of Pisces. So what could a series of yoga classes around sensitivity be? Could be first being a sensitivity to our body, sensitivity to our breath, sensitivity to our fellow community. There's so much there. And then also the theme of creativity. How can you explore that in your yoga? Again, creatively expressing what your body needs in your yoga asanas, working with that proactively is also taking on that universal assignment of letting go of the critique and the judgment. So just there in the North Node and the South Node, you have so much depth to be working with, letting go of judgment, criticism, perfectionism, and embracing empathy, sensitivity, creativity, and spiritual teachings. That's the most exciting astrology for me. Then let's get into some more stuff. The next is to talk about all things Aries. If there is one zodiac sign that is really a guiding the theme of 2025, it is Aries. Now, this doesn't matter if you've got significant Aries placements or not. It's not about you. It's what's happening in the universal astrology and the themes that that's bringing up for us all to navigate. But if you do have significant Aries placements, you've got your sun, your moon, your rising in Aries, you've got your nodes in Aries, then this is going to be an even more impactful year for you. So Aries, the themes of Aries. Aries is a fire sign. It is the instigator. It is the initiator. It is the word ignite, ignition. There's different types of fire, and Aries is the type of fire that is the strike of a match. The strike of a match is instantaneous and quick, and it allows you to ignite candles, fires, log burners, ignite other things. And then that Aries match soon burns out, but by then you've lit the other fires from it. This is the major overarching theme for all of 2025, ignition. Fast, quick. This year is going to go in a blink of an eye. I know we feel like every year rushes fast, but this year, like nothing we have ever seen, is going to go so fast. Despite Mars being in retrograde in January, the last 2 weeks have been insanely fast in my personal life. And this is the theme we're navigating all of 2025. So when is this all kicking off? It's really kicking off spring, March through May. So 19th of March, we have a partial solar eclipse in Aries. Eclipses ignite a 6-month window of change, and it is coming into Aries. Then the 30th of March, we have Neptune, the planet of dreams, moving into Aries. 24th of May, we have Saturn moving into Aries. So all of this, Saturn is about hard work and discipline. Neptune is about dreams. So this year is finally ignite the match on your dreams. Neptune in Aries, Saturn in Aries, do the hard work to bring that dream to life. Now, when we work on our dreams, the result often looks different to the dream, but the result will be somewhere new. And this is the assignment. What are your dreams? And maybe, especially Neptune in Aries, Aries is new beginnings. So maybe there are new dreams for you. Have you thought that? What would a new dream look like for you? A dream you've not yet known to even have. This is the time to welcome in new dreams. And also, if you have dreams that have been bundling along that you have not taken any action on, 2025 is the time to take action. And then with Saturn following up, it's like discipline, hard work, put the effort in to see that dream come to life. So in your yoga business, if you have a dream to take retreats abroad, I've got 5 retreats abroad this year. I couldn't be more excited. But I remember 10 years ago when I had that dream to do my first retreat. Are you holding that dream? Or are you holding a dream to take a different retreat? Like I did my first safari retreat last year. That was a dream. Or maybe it's a course or a workshop or a training or to launch your class. But what are the dreams you have in your business that, through the Virgo, playing small, perfectionism, critiquing, you haven't taken action on? Now is the time to take imperfect action, South Node in Virgo, Neptune in Aries, take imperfect action on your dreams. Just do the frickin' thing. Just do the thing. And this is what I love about being a mentor, love about being a business mentor, because you get to talk to me about your dreams. And then invariably you show me or tell me all of the different limiting beliefs, perceived barriers, boundaries that are stopping you doing it. And the job of a really good business mentor is to help take those barriers down. is to help show you a different way to, I mean, I like just to kick the barriers down, if I'm honest, and show you that's not a barrier. That's just a self-limiting belief. This is how we navigate it. And come on, let's go do the thing one step at a time. So this is the time to take action on your dreams. And then with that Saturn bit there, it's reminding you to work hard. So say you're, for instance, your dream is a retreat, and you go on the internet and you do a little bit of research to find a retreat venue. You find a retreat venue, you fall in love with it, you make an inquiry, and they come back and it's well outside of your budget. And then that feels like the world stomped on a dream and we go, I'm not going to do it. This is why Saturn is also in Aries. It's like, no, discipline, knuckle down, work hard. Okay, the first one didn't pan out. Don't worry, knuckle down. Let's go and research 10. Find 10 yoga retreat possible venues. And before you go into the nitty gritty of them, just email all 10 of them, get their prices back, their dates, their availability. Then if you find something that matches, take the next step of starting to look at whether that's going to be the right place for you. So Neptune in Aries is giving you the hope, the hope of take action on your dream. And Saturn is backing that up with, don't fall at the first hurdle. Pick yourself up. Put the hard work in. Let's get this done. And as a mentor, that's the world I love to live in. Give you hope and inspiration in your dream. And then I'm going to be that Saturn that comes and backs it up with tall, hard work, discipline. Let's get it done. Okay, so that is all happening through March through to the end of May. Then, actually, I do want to talk about Aries a little bit more. So with all of this energy in Aries, eclipse in Aries, Neptune in Aries, Saturn in Aries, and at that same time, the sun will be in Aries as well. Aries is fast. If you know any Aries people in your life, they walk fast. My friend Lauren, cannot keep up with her. Walk fast, talk fast, think fast, drive fast. So this is why I said this year is going to be fast. Now, humans aren't really made to go fast. It's why we get motion sick and why we get jet lagged when we go on planes. We're not meant to go that fast. So this fastness of this year could leave us feeling a little bit whiplashed. So that means in our yoga, we teach people to slow down. In our yoga, we can be the slow, measured, grounded pace. So I really urge you to work with the themes in your yoga of slow, move slow, steady. And if you teach a fast vinyasa class, a lot of people use momentum. And as soon as you slow it down, they can't rely on momentum so much. And then they have to use muscular effort and control, which actually helps them build more body connection. So encourage all of your classes, even the ones that like to move fast, to move more slow, considered, controlled range of movement. Eke your shavasana out slightly longer. Encourage people to slow the breath. Bring in slowing and grounding. I want you to bring in a lot of grounding because the main elements of this year are fire and air. Aries is fire, then we've got a lot of stuff happening in air signs. So this is, and we've got no earth. So there's no earth in the astrology for this year. So people are going to feel very ungrounded. So anything you can do in your yoga classes, earth mudra, longer shavasanas, things like the bee breath, nice standing poses in tree pose or tadasana, imagining opening up the soles of your feet and connecting to the earth. Get really grounded in your yoga classes. Okay, and the last little bit I want to cover is the air stuff. So we had, as I mentioned, Pluto in Aquarius. This is going to be for 20 years. Aquarius is an air sign. And for the first half of this year, up until June, we have Jupiter in Gemini. Gemini is an air sign. And then just as Jupiter moves out of Gemini, Uranus moves into Gemini. So there's a lot of Gemini energy and a lot of Aquarius energy. These are two air signs. Jupiter in Gemini expands it. Gemini is about the intellect, is about ideas, is actually connected to the nervous system. Pluto in Aquarius, Aquarius is kind of quite similar, actually. It's intellect, but it's more of a maverick intellect, more of a think outside the box, whereas Gemini is like a think about 5 things all at the same time. Aquarius is like, think about how this has never been done. So they're very mind heavy and mind busy. And then with Uranus moving into Gemini as Jupiter moves out, Uranus rules Aquarius. So Uranus is also this like maverick, new thinking, new ideas, again, quite fast. So there's a lot of cognitive stuff coming at us, a lot of intellectual ideas, a lot of noise, and a lot for the nervous system to process, in addition to all the Aries stuff. So a theme of this year could be this feeling of feeling a little bit fried in the mind and also wired. Fried and wired is what a lot of people could be navigating this year. So as a yoga teacher, nervous system regulation, that is one of the most powerful things you can teach. How to teach your yoga students the tools for nervous system regulation. We have this vast toolbox, but it's like we didn't come with an instruction manual and people didn't tell us what tools to use for what. Your nervous system has the parasympathetic nervous system, and that's the bit we're going to want to be stimulating to balance out this like fried and wired. And the parasympathetic nervous system has a series of nerves that we can stimulate through our yoga to down-regulate the nervous system. You've probably heard of the vagus nerve, but there's also like the glossopharyngeal nerve in the throat, the oculomotor nerve in the eyes, the facial nerves. All of these can be intentionally stimulated through yoga to downregulate the nervous system. Empower your students with this knowledge and the tools. So things like the Brahmari bee breath, the bee breath, that is really good for stimulating the vagus nerve, glossopharyngeal, downregulating the nervous system. Rubbing your hands and cupping your eyes, soothing the oculomotor nerve. Big body movements, shaking, tapping, anything that downregulates the nervous system. As a yoga teacher, if you are not feeling confident and skilled in the vagus nerve and in how to use yoga for nervous system regulation, if there was one area I'd tell you to train up this year, it would be that. And I do have on-demand 8-hour training on nervous system regulation. It will teach you the science and anatomy of the nervous system. We'll teach you polyvagal theory, the vagus nerve, and then all of the practical tools to teach to downregulate the nervous system by stimulating all of those nerves. If you are not confident in that, I highly recommend that you take that 8-hour training. I think it's like £95 on demand. You can do it whenever you like. Full slides, full PowerPoint, all the tools you need to pick that up and go to your classes and go, right, we are doing nervous system regulation. So my website's a bit of a minefield. If you can navigate, it's on lauragreenyoga.co.uk. The tab called Beyond, and the first drop down on that says Course Vault. Scroll through the Course Vault, lower down, you'll find the 8-hour nervous system regulation tool. Or the easiest thing is just drop me a message and ask me to send you the link to that training. So you can drop me that on email, direct message, Instagram, anywhere. I'm Laura Green Yoga or laura@lauragreenyoga.co.uk. So your main themes: let go of perfectionism, let go of self-critical, get your students to embrace supporting their body how it feels now. In your business, let go of perfectionism, let go of being too detail-orientated. Done is better than perfect. It's also more relatable to show up as you are. Okay? North Node in Pisces, embrace spirituality, empathy, sensitivity, creativity. Aries is our main overarching theme. That is ignition. Go ignite the spark on your dreams. Follow it up with Saturn. Work hard with discipline to realize your dreams. Then go slow and ground yourself. This year is going to be fast and there's no earth. Ground yourself. Then all of the mind heavy stuff, Pluto in Aquarius, Jupiter in Gemini, then Uranus in Gemini. The mind is going to be busy, fried and wired. You have the tools of nervous system regulation to down-regulate your nervous system, calm and soothe your mind. So that is the astrology for 2025, how you can bring it into your personal practice, your business, and your teaching. Now, I have lots of ways that you can work with me through all of this. If your business is the thing you are ready to ignite and work hard on, then you want my business mentorship program. Fast Track to Full starts on the 13th of February, 12 weeks to ignite the business of your dreams. If it's more of a personal year for you and you want me to hold your hand through this powerful astrology, that would be my 12-month Realm of Emotions alchemy course. It is tantric yoga, astrology, meditation, mantra through a 12-month course, alchemizing this astrology. Starts in March, in Aries season, when all of this is kicking off. And or if you just, as I said, want to learn how to teach yoga to downregulate the nervous system, you want my 8-hour on-demand CPD training, yoga for nervous system regulation. You can navigate your way to those things on my website, but there's so much on there, you'll probably get lost. So if there's something you want, just reach out. I'll send you the webpage. You can read the details and see if it's right for you. Otherwise, thank you very much, my lovelies, for being here. You'll probably get an on-demand one next Friday as I am going to teach a retreat. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.